Now we're going to learn about a piece of figurative language. And remember, figurative language is some sort of tool that an author is going to use to help make your reading more interesting. It helps sometimes also to give the reader a little more information without specifically laying out all of the details. It lets you use your imagination a little bit too. So the one we're going to talk about now is called allusion. So here's a definition for you. It's a brief and indirect reference to a person, place, thing, or idea of historical, cultural, or literary or political significance. It's a lot of words in there. But basically, it is going to be some time when an author uses a mention of something to bring something else to mind. And I know that that's a little vague right now, but we'll get there in just a second. I'll explain it a little bit further. You're not going to get the detail of the person or the thing that it's referring to because it's wanting you to know that, or it's hoping you as the reader know that information without the author having to tell you. So there's going to be 4 specific types of allusions that you'll see throughout literature, really even movies and TV shows that you watch as well. First one's going to be historical. It's going to be talking about something, some sort of person or event from history. You've probably heard something along the lines of, don't forget to put your John Hancock on the contract. That's referring to one of the founding fathers, John Hancock, that signed the Declaration of Independence, and his signature was huge. So people will often use John Hancock as an allusion to a signature. Mythological. So if you think of any of the Greek mythology stories that maybe you've learned in your other English classes throughout the years, it's going to be referring to a character from one of those stories. So if you've heard about Pandora's box, that's a story about Pandora who opens up this box that she's told not to, and all of the evils of the world escape. So in a reference like this, asking that question was like opening Pandora's box. The author's trying to tell you that if this person asked something that started something negative happened after they'd asked that question. The third type would be an allusion to something biblical. So it's specifically calling to mind something from the Bible, a character or a story. So in this example, if it doesn't stop raining soon, I'm going to have to start building an ark. That's referring to the story of Noah's Ark. These were used a lot, especially in early literature, because people were so familiar with Bible stories. The final one that we're going to reference today are literary allusions. So that's calling to mind some sort of a character or scene from a well-known book. I've used a little more basic one here, but calling somebody a Grinch, that is a literary allusion to a story that we as children probably knew. And so I'm going to show you also a quick example of that. This is a scene from one of my favorite shows, Friends, and it's going to have an allusion to a story that actually, if you have taken English 3 before, you might have actually read this story. So I'm going to let you watch it and I'll explain it in just a second.
Hey guys, open it. Okay. It's a chicken.
You, huh? Whoa, you guys, do you know anything about chicks?
Fowl? No. Women? No.
They are a huge responsibility, especially at this age. They require constant care. They need just the right food and lots of love.
Oh, well, no problem. Easy, Lenny.
So this scene is making an allusion to the story or to the book of Mice and Men. If you haven't read that book before, in the story, Lenny is one of the main characters, and he is constantly his favorite thing is touching soft things. And when he does that, he often ends up killing the soft things. So Chandler is calling Joey Lenny because he is starting to smother the chick. So again, it's trying to let you as the reader, or the viewer in this case, get a picture without explicitly telling you what the author is wanting you to know. So again, it's made the storyline more interesting than just saying, don't squeeze the chick, Joey. He was able to call him Lenny, and it provided a little extra humor.